Well, it looks like Trump thinks that the memo was in his favor. I don't think I actually came across the actual memo, but from what I hear from the Republicans, at least, that it has nothing to do with um them investigating the involvement of the Russians, or anyway, it doesn't clear Trump. Um, and then I don't know. I guess they have to finish doing their budget. I don't know when Trump has time to do any of the work that needs to be done for, for the government, or the government work that needs to be done, if he's so busy trying to fight every American. I don't know why he ain't out there trying to fight the Russians, but he gonna fight the Americans, you know. And he's playing like he's using that, like that type of mentality that, you know uh, uh, let me blame everybody else. You know how cons do it, like look, get you to look over here. But the only thing is that I don't know who he thinks is going to do all his work for him, since he still doesn't have like 380 people that he needs. So, and the people that he does have, that their interest is not for the betterment of the citizens of America. It's for their pockets. I mean, I don't know. Well, I think I do understand why they probably do want to destroy the um education system. But I mean, I don't know how it could get any how he could go down any farther. But um uh I know in Kansas where they tried all this Republican stuff, and uh give great big taxes to business, and all this other stuff. It really hurt the city. Like this city here, I didn't know how bad the roads were. I mean, I knew it was trashy from walking, but I didn't know how nasty they are, how messed up the roads are. Um, it's pretty bad. Uh, I don't even see where, but we have a surplus here in our taxes, and you know, like they're like, what should we do with it? Should we do this? Should we do that? Like you haven't fixed the streets. It looks like probably in about 25 years. So our taxes are too high. Lower them. I mean, it's hard for them to figure out how you know can we make people's life more difficult. Uh, if we have money that will make their lives better. 'Cause that's what I see the Republicans are like. How can we punish the American people, for being citizens, for being born here? But anyway, I think that they're gonna have to, you know, speed up the investigation a little bit, you know, because the longer it takes them to get ahead, well, they're supposed to investigate Trump, but the longer it takes for them to do something, the more damage that Trump and the Republicans are going to do. And it doesn't matter if they're like, oh, well, this is what the American people, they keep saying in all the news guys, this is what the American people want. No, they have to stop lying. How are you going to tell, like somebody what they want if you haven't asked? I mean, this is what you want. All nasty. This is what the American people want. That's what they want. They wanted Trump. No, no, no. No, Russia wanted Trump. That's why they interfered with the election. The FBI, yeah, they helped Trump. Now you see Trump is backstabbing. You know, regardless of reason why, how, what, where, when they did help Trump. Um, Now Trump's attacking them. There's so many things that you can attack about the justice system and fixing the justice system, in opposed to tearing it down and they got a lot of problems with the justice system because they got a lot of racist white folks in there. You got racist white folks. You don't have the best benefit. You don't have the best for Americans. You're not. You know what I'm saying. You're not. You're geared to your own goals, not the goals that the Constitution has drawn out. It's your own goals, your own stuff that you're trying to do. And I, and but we'll see. Like I don't know what they're talking about. That this memo now. Like Trump's like, oh well, we did it, and he's like, oh, it feels so. I don't know what he was doing, but you can tell that he thinks he doesn't think, but he acts like he gets a lot of joy in causing other people discomfort. Um, and it look like people like that they gonna crack easy. Because what's the worst thing that could ever happen to them? Somebody treat them the way they treat other people. That's the worst nightmare. It's like the police officer that's real crooked and thinks it's funny just to like in Baltimore to throw people in jail that are innocent that they set up and ruin their whole life. You know, but as soon as they catch them, then they're crying. Oh, I got children. I got family. Like they're the only motherfuckers in the whole world that fuck somebody that produced a child. Only policemen have families. The rest of our families are irrelevant. We have to worry about them. We have to worry about the security of the United States and all this little bullshit, me, selfish type of narcissistic shit. It's not helping one bit. You know, we have younger and younger shooters. Like they had that little girl that was 12 years old. She's supposed to accidentally shot 4 people. How you accidentally pull the trigger 4 times? I know it was probably rapid fire. Okay, she accidentally had it in her hand. So like I haven't seen the child, but automatically it's Caucasian. If it was a little black child, they'd be talking about 12 years old. Uh, um let's take him to court as an adult. Let's trial him as an adult. Which I think is the most. It tells you a lot about our prison system. If you can't have a child at 12 years old and give them what they need and that's called information. It's not called fucking them or what they were doing here in Memphis, the juvenile, or beating them and fucking, because those kids came out real sick, real fucked up, And I don't care what anybody says. If you've been around children that get whooped, and you've been around children that not get whooped, children that get whooped are some violent little narcissistic, paranoid little evil bastards that like to hit, just like their parents hit them. You know what I'm saying? They have a misunderstanding. There's no solution for them. It's like they want you to do so. They just, where the children don't get hit, and they're not gonna stay hit if they get hit. You know, they end up doing more damage to somebody that hits them than that person that got, because there's a lot of stigma anyway, but that they have to carry along. But I mean, I don't even know how to begin to think that we got in such a situation that we're in. that America looks like this, except for uh, people like Trump, mm, people like Paul Ryan, Jeff Sessions, and numerous other type of Republicans that you know all into this like uh, just the way they're acting with Trump, the way they are with Trump, just the way they are. You can see the way they are and what they say and their actions, and you can see the way they are and their actions. It's not helpful uh, to the continuing. I think it's really probably too late. I think it really is too late. You know, and uh, because we're not gonna fix the schools. We're not. The children are gonna have cold cereal for breakfast, which is loaded with sugar. The milk is loaded with fat and sugar. The cow milk that we have. Uh, of course, we should get big and fat because it has a lot of fat in it for a cow. And since I don't have two stomachs, I can't drink milk. It comes out like the milk goes in and just passes right through. So so it can't be healthy for you, you know, and so and then the stock market fell, and I knew that's going to have to be a correction. I was thinking there was something really tricky going on, because like I don't have any money to put in the stock market, but I always look, like to play around, this is like gambling anyway. Except for so if I'm just pick something and just watch it, even though I don't put no money on it, I feel like I could feel good. It's fun anyway, something to do some days. But that thing just, and I think it has about oh, I don't know, probably another 1,200 in correction. You know, and Trump was like saying it was because of his economics that the stock market was going up. Wow, you're so vain. I bet you think it's all about you, the stock market. He's so vain. I bet he think he had the biggest crowd ever around him. He's so vain. I bet he won't know. Anyway, I don't understand. He really thinks the world is gonna revolve around him. How it's gonna revolve around with when you with your like. This is one thing racist white people do all the time. They give their power away to the enemy just so that they could. I mean, it's a normal thing. We have a very sick society, and there are solutions. There's solutions that don't cause pain, doesn't cause death, won't cause you to bleed. You know, um, it doesn't hurt, but we're not going for that. Let's gel them. Let's just try. If they're black or Hispanic or something, let's try these kids as adults. You know, uh, let's crack down on marijuana while heroin runs rampant. Let's put crack junkies, crack fiends in prison for 10, 20 years while we leave the dealer running around. Because I don't think they. Well, I know for a fact they ain't never arrested really the big people if Oliver North trials was saying that the CIA was bringing them in. So I mean, I really don't know if we, at least in this little hood here, if we really have a heroin problem. I know they still have a cocaine problem, But like that'd be extra stuff that they have to get, like the needles. And, well, there's a lot of diabetes around here. That's what I was alluding to with the cold cereal, the milk. You know, uh, um, that's too much sugar for a child anyway. And then like in the convenience store in the morning, they get them like this thing, jungle juice. Or I like it when they're trying to be healthy and they get that orange juice that ain't got no oranges in it. It has like corn syrup or that, the anyway, the fruit syrup or whatever. But anyway, I don't see. I'm really disappointed that we have such fools, that are in the government. I think the only choices that we have is these midterms elections, aren't they? November the 6th, to find out who we could vote in, you know. Um, and I remember this time, and when it comes to like the rate how dumb racism is, because I didn't know at the time, and the person that did it, he's passed away, but I was with my friends, and this gay bar had 75 cents well drinks, and they were like, hey, there's 75-cent well drinks over here. I'm like, oh hey, let me go. So I'm just sitting at the bar, and like it's so funny because people would just like the bartender would give them the because I had like gave the bartender like $5 when I sat down. I just had 175 drink. I thought I would just, I don't know, just hang out for a minute. And well, everybody kept dropping a quarter. Next thing I knew, I was getting all free drinks that night. So I stayed at that in the stool, and there was an argument going on with one of the people I was with, and with another person, or made me stay where I was at anymore. I just, I don't know. I didn't care. Well, anyway, the next thing I know, like my friend, like, and there was like I was with three other guys, and they came and they're like, "We gotta go, we gotta go." So like, I was driving, I had drove there, but he jumped in the driver's part, and he takes off. He gets surrounded by cops. I had that sticker I'm supposed to put on the license, the new sticker, with the new month and whatnot, you know. Um, yeah, I already had paid for it, but I knew I had to put it in. I had just put it in my glove box, and I haven't put it on the car yet. So anyway, so the police, the other three guys was white. The police was just fucking with me. So they had us to go back to the scene of crime. We were sitting there. Now I didn't know somebody had got stabbed in the bathroom. Nobody mentioned anything. The cops didn't say anything to me. They got focused on like, oh, we're gonna give her a ticket for the car. So I asked the policeman. I said, can I go in? Because he went in the glove box, and I'm like, give me that, and I'll put it on. So he goes, give me one. I'm giving that sticker. So so I put the sticker there, and it was like 5 minutes to 12, and they were really pissed, so they just made us sit there longer. They had the guy that had stabbed and killed the guy in the restroom sitting right there, but they were fucking with me, and he died of AIDS years later, and that's when he like confessed that what happened that night, So but he would have went to jail if if there was if I hadn't been there, because I was like the only black person there. So he would have went to jail. So I think the guy that actually got stabbed and died was black. So Kansas was starting like they're like we had some really you have racist cops everywhere. For some reason, they're of the mind like, oh, you know, black people do all the bad stuff. But the only people that I have ever really known as true criminals to speak, that sold marijuana in school, sold this and that, was white folks. The only people I ever known that was real hard criminals. The only heroin addicts I ever known was white. The only crystal meth addict. Now I gotta admit, I've known a lot of people of both races that did cocaine, so I can't really, and I know both races did a lot of marijuana and drink alcohol, so I really, there I really can't tell you the difference, when it comes to marijuana and alcohol, but in cocaine, I've seen both groups. But when heroin, crystal meth, and real crime, it's been white folks, and I don't know if the crystal meth, uh, well, cocaine makes fucks with people's mind just as much. So I don't know, and I guess when I was a kid, they just said, if you get hooked on heroin, all you got to do is just go through the symptoms. Once the flu symptoms are over, it's just like body aches and nausea, throwing up, just like when anybody has the flu. Once that passed, it's over. So like when I hear a lot of people talking about, oh, I gotta have it, I can't go through the pain. I'm like, you know, that's a lie. But it is a big mental block that, but you can, a lot of people, well, some people do die from the flu, but except for heroin, you'll die more often from the heroin from the flu, especially since, what is that, venom? I forgot what they put it in there, but something they're putting in there that, um, I think intentionally, so they could get some OD, people OD, and so, so Trump and his people acting like Mexicans and blacks and gays or whatever, or the bad people, mm, they just haven't been around any good people. That's what I think. Because you're just assuming that everybody's just like you, or, you know what I'm saying? You got it all figured out. I think that's the only thing that's going to be in our favor with Trump and his son. His son already, like, on the interviews, talked about how much interaction they had with Mexico, the junior, and then the brother, his son-in-law Keshner, yeah, they have pictures of him. The reporter got him in China, selling, rentals out to China in New York so they could get a visa. And that was part of the deal. So and then I don't know. And all that stuff, China and Russia buying these apartment buildings like that, and paying all this extra money, has brought, part of the thing that brings up, that causes the rent to go up everywhere, artificially inflated. So they cause a lot of damage. I mean, look at Russia. I don't know what other business Russia's in besides going around and interfering with people's elections. Um, you know, they start a lot of those hacks and stuff. I don't know what they do, but that's more. I don't know what they do besides go around and enjoy living in other countries outside of Russia, if at all possible. That's what I see. Um, so anyway, we'll see if the FBI will still be able to function. Um, I don't even think that Trump understands that he's not part of the Justice Department. He's not part of. They're separate, you know. But and then he also thinks because he's the president, he can't do no time. Well, presidency is only for 4 years at the least, or less if you get impeached. Um, it sounds like really, the Republicans should take in consideration the security of the United States. They're talking about making, making the border more secure, building, a big wall and doing all this stuff. When we have a person in the White House is the biggest danger to our security, and he's hanging around with white supremacists that are nothing but terrorists. You know, I mean, who else is? Oh well, at least they try hard. So we'll see.